You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Chris, the Herons are back. Well, actually, Chris isn't here. Welcome, everybody, to episode 279 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and Chris isn't here yet, so I'll be holding it down as best I can. I am under the weather. I thought he'd help me carry it through, but he is not here. But we're going to continue anyway. Shout out to everybody in the chat already. I see that you guys are having a conversation in the chat about the players that Miami should sign or are rumored to sign, so we're definitely going to talk about that. Before I get into that, quick shout out to everybody that's gotten on. They've used the promo code HOHOHO24 on batterfans.com. The Messi Goat Shadow shirt seems to be very popular. So shout out to you guys for supporting and getting that. If you haven't already, you have until the 10th of December to use that promo code HOHO24. Where is Chris? I don't know. I don't know where Chris is, but hopefully he jumps on soon. And then, yes, somebody said that I'm support. What? Instead, it says deport Danny for being anti-Charlie Brown. Okay, no, not an anti-Charlie Brown. But I did want to get into the whole conversation that I see already started in the chat, so we'll get started on there. A lot of people are saying that we need to sign defenders, forget all the other positions, defenders. Now, I understand. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to have better players overall. If you could bring me a better defender, that's great. But when you look at Mascherano had his press conference today, and I'm going to wait for Chris to get on to talk about the Mascherano press conference. But apparently he likes to play a 4-3-2-1. I'm sorry, a 4-2-3-1, right? So going based off of the players that we currently have, 4-2-3-1 would look something like this. Based off of the players we currently have. Now, I understand. I'm not an idiot. I know that Yannick Bright probably won't start. It'll probably be Busquets if we roll something like this out. So let me go ahead and put Sergio Busquets instead of Yannick Bright. There he goes. So it'll look something like this. Now, I hope that Mascherano is the type of coach that doesn't come and is stubborn and tries to fit players that don't fit into his system. I hope that he kind of plays a system that accommodates to the players he has. But if he sticks with the 4-2-3-1, with the double pivot, I would assume that this is something that what it's going to look like. I personally would rather him roll out obviously we're going to get new players from here to then. But if this is the roster we have, I'd rather him roll out a 4-3-3. Right? A 4-3-3. I don't think Robert Taylor's going to be here next year. Put Matias Rojas up at left wing. Let Yannick Bright and Sergio Busquets kind of help Sergio Busquets out in the midfield, and I would be happy with a 4-3-3. Now, the reason that everybody's talking is because all the rumors seem to be about James Rodriguez. Randomly, Mo Salah somehow came up. Oh, and you know what? And thank you, Facundo Farias. I forgot about him completely. He would probably be up at the left wing. But Mo Salah, Paul Pogba, a lot of these rumors are players that are in the midfield or probably attacking players, right? Because Pogba isn't going to play that defending midfielder anymore like he used to. So everybody's saying, why are we looking for the attack? We need more defense. I think that this team, more than good defenders, needs a better defensive philosophy, honestly. Because I thought David Martinez looked like a good defender. Although Toto Aviles does have his boneheaded plays, he does make those stupid-ass fouls. He gets those constant reds and yellows. I get all that. But I think he showed a lot of promise. When you have David Martinez healthy, right? Because he wasn't fully healthy. He was a little rusty when he came back. David Martinez, I thought looked pretty good. And you have Toto Aviles. Jesus Christ. Toto Aviles. Then you have Jordi Alba at the left back, and then at right back, I don't know. Cello is up. His loan is up. They have the option to extend. We still haven't found out what the options, if they were picked up or if they were let go. They haven't been transparent with that. But if that's your back line, I mean, in the MLS, that's not that bad. Like, it really isn't. I've said it time and time again. If you look at the entire regular season, there were 5 defenses that were better than Inter Miami. 5. And when you go look at those rosters, go ahead. It's Seattle. It's Charlotte. Like, look at Houston. And I forgot the other 2. I think it's Columbus and LAFC. Look at those 5 teams. Go ahead on your free time or right now on your computer, whatever. Go ahead and look at the starters of those back lines, you won't recognize almost any of those names. So you don't need big names. You don't need an Otamendi. You don't need these big names to have a good defense in the MLS. What you need is a good defensive philosophy. What you need is to not play a high line. So I think if Mascherano comes and changes the way we play a defense, maybe we don't need to sign these defenders that everybody's getting hyped up about. As Chris jumps on. What's going on, Chris?
Chilling, man. I literally just ran in from work. That's why you probably see I forgot to take off the little setup from my daughter. So, I mean, guys, you're just going to have to take it all in.
Well, thank you for coming in because I'm dying here. I'm really sick, holding in my cough. So thank you for finally showing up.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. Dude, it's a big day. Mascherano finally made his premiere, right? Yep. I mean, are people excited for it? I haven't really gone through
I said that I wanted to get into that one. I was going to wait for you to get on to talk about that. Yeah. What I was talking to everybody about was the fact that all these rumors about James, Pogba, and all these guys, and we're going to get into those rumors specifically for each player, but these rumors are going on, and everybody's going crazy. They're like, no, what do we do? We need defensive players. And I keep saying that defensive players, I wouldn't hate it, but I feel like everybody is a little more obsessed with it than they need to be. I've said it time and time again, there's only 5 teams that allowed less goals than we did all year. 5. Yeah. And of those 5, when you were getting on, I was saying, go ahead and look at the starters on those back lines. You won't recognize any of those names. In the MLS, you don't need big names to have a good defense. You just need a solid philosophy. You need a good tactician. You need a defensive mind, which Mascherano is supposed to be. So I have no doubt that he could take the current players, which I think will probably get an upgrade. But he could take the current players, and our defense could look much better.
The one thing that we had mentioned before that I think everybody likes, and Steve Munoz, Don Cafecito, by the way, says we need defensive players that aren't injury prone. I mean, that's a guarantee, right? Now, before we keep talking about this, I just want to give a shout out to the Don Cafecito for referring me to this water bottle. And this water bottle has been great so far. I just wanted to shout out Don Cafecito for referring. A bunch of people in the Discord referring me.
You saw the Messi Stanley went on sale today.
Yeah, I'm not getting that. Like
I tried to get it.
No, listen, you know what? That I'm gonna stand on the hill that downtown Peter Brown is gonna stand on. If it doesn't have the Inter Miami logo, I'm not getting it.
Nah, but it has Inter Miami pink, so I wanted it.
It does. But like,
well, but that's why I wanted it.
I could have gotten this Inter Miami pink. What are you doing?
Why didn't you? Why didn't you?
Because gray is my favorite color.
Oh well, pink's my favorite color. So once I saw that it was on sale, and obviously they always send out those in the middle of the day when people are at work. So yeah. I saw it like an hour or 2 after they had sent the email, and by the time I went in, it was a wrap. They only had the regular one with the straw. I didn't want that one. I want the 64-ounce one. That was the big one that has the handle to carry. So, and yes, Mr. Krabs, pink is my favorite color. It's been my favorite color since before Inter Miami came into the league. So go figure. How excited I was when I found out that the colors were going to be pink and black.
Well, and again, I want to mention we've been talking about Mascherano for the last week, and one of the things that we liked was the fact that he was a defensive player. Mm-hmm. We know that he'll probably bring something to the defensive side. I don't want to get too much into the muck because Phil Neville was a defensive player. We kind of expected that, and
but he wasn't. Like, look, when you're a fullback,
you aren't assassin.
When you're a fullback, your defensive mentality isn't the same because you have some responsibility in the attack also. Being a central defender, a center back, or a defensive midfielder, like he was an assassin, Mascherano, that is, in the middle of the pitch. I think that his defensive mindset might be a tad bit different than Phil Neville's was. So I know it's like saying Jordi Alba and Mascherano. Yeah, Jordi Alba is technically a defender, but like, when you think of him, do you really think of him like, oh, I need to find out his thought process for defenses, or I need to find out his thought process for whipping in those crosses? Which of the two comes to your mind first?
Oh, of course, you're gonna pick with that.
So I think a great center back is to me a better choice.
Well, and I want to mention something here. because I was watching the press conference, and there's a question that was asked of him by Franco Panco Banco. Franco Panizo, shout out to Franco, Miami Total Football Radio. Asked a really good question. And I'm going to paraphrase this because I only watched it once. But I think he asked something along the lines of, with these expectations coming, in terms of promising sort of winning or championships. And the response that Mascherano gave was like, I'd be dumb to guarantee, I'd be a hypocrite. Yes, I'd be a hypocrite to guarantee trophies because I'm just here to make sure that we're just better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the face that his boss right next to him, Jorge Mas, had was not a pleasant face because he's been guaranteeing. He stayed smiling, but towards the end of the question, he was like, shut the hell up. This guy's been questioning trophies for the last year. And you just got a guy that's like, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just guaranteeing that we're going to be better. Blah, 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 blah. At the end of the press conference, Jorge Mas was like, we're here to win trophies. He restructured the whole thing, basically going back to it saying, we're here to win trophies.
Look,
I don't feel comfortable with that, Danny.
All I got out of the Mascherano interview was that he considered playing here and that they considered bringing him in as a player and then kind of converting him into a coach, kind of like Higuain's brother. What's his name? Federico.
Federico. Yeah, I think it is Federico. Yeah.
So, that was the original plan for him. I don't know. And then he said that he's. You know what really got me when he said, "This isn't new to me. I've faced high expectations before. Coaching the U20 Argentina team. There's high expectations." It's like, why would you even bring that up? What did you do with those high expectations? You crumbled. You crumbled. But with that said, I think that he's going to do fine. What we need is him to change the defensive mentality here. That high line where we get caught. I think that as long as he shores that up, we're going to be fine. Look, like I said, our defense, it felt bad, but man, it wasn't as bad as people think. And then you take away that 6-goal loss to the Red Bulls, and all of a sudden, we're one of the best defensive teams in the league statistically.
Yeah.
So,
I wanna also mention something here. Stancy's saying, look, I think he did well in the press conference. It's not like he can explain too much. He's not going to explain too much. He just got here off a plane like less than 24 hours ago.
And I didn't think the press conference went poorly.
No,
I just didn't get anything. I mean, like I always thought. I hate coach talk. I hate player interviews. I hate all that stuff because you don't get shit out of any of that.
Yeah, but that answer, dude, that just took me on a different path there, Danny. Like how can you not be critical of what someone is answering? Now,
because you kind of set yourself up. And look, I would love it if he came out like, I don't know, for those of you that are familiar with the NFL, if he came out like Rex Ryan with the bravado. He first got the job. He's like, I'm here to win Super Bowls. I'm not here to kiss Bill Belichick's rings. Like, he didn't live up to it, but as a fan, you're like, hell yeah, I love that. So you want that, but when you don't live up to it, everybody looks at you and points at you and laughs. So I get why some people want to do that. They don't want to put their foot on it. They'd rather just go ahead and show it instead of saying it. And I get that. Like, I'm not hating it. It would have been nice if he had some more bravado, but I'm not hating it.
But if you go into the interview with a boss that says, we're here to win all the trophies, and he's telling you, you're here because we need you to win trophies. And somebody had put in the comments here saying that he promised that he would be a winning coach, or like that we would be having a winning season. I think it's fairly easy to be able to say we're going to have a winning season when we have Messi and company on the team. Like, I think that's not too far-fetched. Right here, no. Marasovic saying, Macha said we'll compete for everything. Marasovic, of course we could put a scarecrow on the sidelines and we're going to compete for everything.
Well, look, I'm not going to be that guy like you are with Phil Neville. I'm not going to be the guy that keeps bringing up Tata Martino. consistently throughout the year. I'm ready. I'm left that behind me.
You're done.
But one thing I do want to say is that everybody criticizes Tata because he didn't get the job done. But I don't know if you, Chris, I know you don't watch too much world football, but one of, if not the best manager or coach in the world right now is Pep Guardiola. He's on a 5-game losing streak in Man City. And he's blaming it on the fact that his defenders are injured. Now, mind you, his defenders are injured. He still has John Stones. He still has Ruben Diaz is his name. He still has Kyle Walker. Like, he still has world-class players, even though his defenders are injured. And people saying 7 now. I guess if you count other competitions, right? Because I think he didn't win the Champions League. But my point is that the best coach in the world is using these yes, I know Kyle Walker's washed, but he's using these as excuses as to why he's not winning. You have Tata Martino here, and he missed his 2 best players for a while, and he's still on the Supporters' Shield. What I'm saying is that even if you bring a Mascherano, a Xavi, a Pep, like, if you don't have the players, there's no guarantee that you're going to win. And in the MLS, you don't always have the players. Like, you don't have that huge, great roster that you can count on from top to bottom. You're going to have to put out a Dai Martinez out there. You're going to have to put out a CJ Dos Santos every once in a while. So I don't know. I think that Tata got a raw deal. That's the last I'm going to talk about Tata, because I don't want to be Chris with Phil Neville. But that's my last view.
Well, I mean, look, Jason, I was mentioning it, 7 winless, but 5 defeats. So, and then
because in the Champions League, I believe he drew. I want to say I forgot. I know that it ended up being quite the streak. And look, and Rodri is their missing key player. Yeah, I know he won the Ballon d'Or and everything, but Messi was our key missing player, and Suarez was missing,
and we thrived.
And everybody said, "Oh, it's too bad, Tata, you didn't win the MLS Cup. You gotta go." It's like, Jesus.
I do want to mention something also, that when I was watching the press conference, before the press conference, everybody gets into the live chat, and like everybody was just there. Messi, 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 Messi. Like, guys, Messi is not watching this live broadcast. Like, he's not going to see any of this stuff. What do you think the chances are that Mascherano spoke to the players? Because that's a question that I thought somebody would ask.
Well, he probably spoke to his friends already, even before he signed.
That is, I don't. How can you not talk to the players before you do the press conference?
Okay.
Like, you can't just talk to you can't just talk to the main guys. That's kind of dirtbaggish.
So what you think he's calling Drake? Like, hey, Drake.
I think that there should be a meeting at the minimum. Like,
he doesn't know if Drake's coming back.
Come on, Danny. You're telling me before he does a press conference, you shouldn't call in all the players, be like, yo, press conference is at 12. Look, everybody knew the day before or 2 days before.
I'm only talking to the players that I know 100% are going to be there next year. If Jorge Mas is like, hey, Kremaki for sure will be here next year, I'll hit up Kremaki.
Why would you not bring in everybody and be like, hey, this is your new coach. We're going to have a press conference.
This is their offseason.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter.
Come meet your coach. Come meet your coach.
No. Francisco Garcia just said it. Aren't the players on vacation? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think you should call everybody. Everybody should be out there.
All right. So, you want to start with the rumors?
Yeah, man. Let's get to the rumor mill. Everybody loves the rumor mill.
All right. So, let's start with the one that I don't even sure why it's a rumor, but the Mo Salah, Liverpool, his contract's up at the end of this season.
Awful.
I'm not sure.
What are people drinking?
I don't understand how people think that that's even a possibility. There's no chance. And right now, he's balling for Liverpool. There is absolutely no chance that he's coming to the MLS. Like, absolutely no. I'm not sure how that became. I don't know if it was just a random Twitter account that threw it out there into the Twitter sphere and it got picked up by everybody. But I am with Miami King. absolutely no chance that we see Mo Salah here. If we do see Mo Salah here, forget about it. Like that would be. He is literally probably the top player right now in the English Premier League. Like, there's no chance. There's no chance.
I don't believe it. I think it would be an awful move
for him or for the team.
For the team.
No, that would be amazing.
Yes. I don't know about that. You're gonna throw him like who? Okay, you're telling me that he's gonna be able to communicate with Messi and with Suarez. You think you're gonna get the best out of him? I mean, for him, I don't think it's
talk football. They talk football. Yes.
For him, I don't think. I think it's worse for him than it would be for us. Obviously.
Yeah. No, and he plays the same position as Messi.
Look at that. What are we doing, Danny? You're gonna replace Mo Salah? You're gonna replace Messi with Mo Salah?
No, you wouldn't replace him. What you would do is you would run that 4-2-3-1 that apparently Mascherano likes to run, and then you would have Messi up top as attacking midfield playing a true number 10, and you'd have Mo Salah right there on the right wing. That's what I would assume. But no, that's not happening though. So I put it out there because I don't know why it was out there, but I felt like since it's out there, we'll talk about it. So Mo Salah, both of us and everybody in the chat would agree that he's out there. And Mr. Krabs, why would he leave Liverpool? It sounds like he is leaving Liverpool. It doesn't sound like things are going well there behind the scenes. So look, everybody's saying no. I'm hearing otherwise. I'm hearing that he might not be back, but I don't think Inter Miami is going to be his destination.
Well, this is another rumor that I just want to get in and get out of.
Okay.
Angel says Di Maria to Miami.
I have heard that does have legs.
But dude, that had legs the last time that it was called out.
That's true. And it did. And there were conversations had, but apparently it didn't happen. But again, supposedly it has legs. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know.
Didn't he sign with the team just a couple months ago? I could have sworn that Di Maria. I could have sworn that Di Maria. The reason that the legs got cut off is because he ended up signing for another team. I don't know if it was like a long-term deal or whatever.
No, he stayed at the team that he was at, Benfica, but I'm not sure until when. I don't know if it's until it might. So if he were to come, it might be in the summer. But now, I have heard that those conversations have started up again.
Now, Francisco Garcia is saying Di Maria in July. Stancy's saying Di Maria fits the team more. Steve is saying it would fit in the summer. I mean, Carrie is saying I would love Di Maria. I mean, look, I would love Di Maria too, and then he's not taking Messi's spot. He's taking Robert Taylor's spot.
But how old is he's taking Faria's spot because I didn't even put him up in the graphic.
Right now, it's not.
About him.
Right now, it is. It's not his spot right now, Danny. It's still Robert Taylor's spot.
Di Maria would be 37 by that time. I mean, I guess. So we got Di Maria up in the air. If it happens, it'll happen in the summer. We have Mo Salah. We think there's absolutely no chance. So let's get into the defensive rumors. Everybody's saying we need Sergio Ramos. We want Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos is close to 40. Yes, he is still at least visually, right? Aesthetically, he looks like he's in great shape. I haven't seen him run on a pitch in like a year. So I have no idea how in shape he really is, or half a year. But apparently he looks good. But everybody keeps saying that he wants a DP contract. And I'm sorry. I don't think that he's worth a DP contract. I would never give a center back a DP contract. And if there's going to be a team that gives him a DP contract, it's not going to be Inter Miami. It'll be somebody like San Diego that needs to attract people with a big star, a big name. And Sergio Ramos, he's probably the biggest name as far as center backs go in the world. Maybe Virgil van Dijk is the next one. But just commercial-wise, that's the biggest name you're going to find.
I want to bring this comment up here. Tobar says, laughing my ass off. It's MLS. He could be 55 and he would walk this league. Like, that's how he sounds. That's how you sound, Tobar.
But who? Who is talking about Di Maria or Sergio Ramos?
I assume that he's talking about either Pogba Because Pace Hunter mentioned Pogba. Who are you talking about, Tobar? Because we've had players come to the MLS and they come in.
I don't know how long you've been watching the MLS, Tobar. I started watching it in 2015, and I started following this team called NYCFC. And NYCFC started their inaugural season with David Villa.
Who are you talking about, Tobar?
Andre Pirlo, and with Frank Lampard. Now, David Villa did ball out, but Lampard and Pirlo were horrible, and they were not 55 years old. So I understand that a lot of people want to poo-poo all over the MLS, but I promise you, it's not as easy as you may think, because there have been players that come, like what's a bright line? Matuidi.
Oh, I thought he was gonna walk the league.
Yes, he just come off of winning the World Cup a couple years ago.
Barely walked on the train.
Pirlo was atrocious. Lampard was atrocious. David Villa did ball out, but there have been some players that have fizzled out. So,
Tobar, who are you talking about, though? You've been responding here in the chat. Who are you talking about, Tobar?
He said those players are on the last legs. If you're 55 years old, Tobar, I'm sorry, but you've been on your last leg for a while.
You've been on your last leg at least like 13 years.
He said he's talking about Otamendi or Ramos. Well, you know what? I think as a center back in this league, as long as you're not playing that high line, I think that they both could hang in this league. But and then this is a good one from Bigote. But again, he's talking about an attacking player. But Giroud has not looked good so far. But I mean, we've talked enough with the guys from LAFC on the MLS show to know that they just don't have the right players around Giroud, and they're gonna have to rearrange the way that team is constructed next season to give him some more service. But if you want more of that, we could get on the MLS show. All right. So let's say we got Salah, not happening. We got Ramos. Some people want it. I don't think it's happening just because it's too much money. And then who else did we talk about? We talked about Di Maria. If that happens, that's going to happen next summer. All right. So let's go to the last two names.
Missing one of the sexiest ones.
There's two names left that I think are actual. Well, one more a possibility than the other. Let's start with the one I'm wearing. James Rodriguez. James, I don't like it. And that's me being a James fan. And I wanted James here badly before Messi got here. Before Messi got here, I wanted James here badly. Now that the team looks the way it does, I don't think James fits. Oh, and there you go. Mitch says James doesn't fit. James, and for some reason, in the club world, he just, I don't know, man, he just doesn't play well. Like, you have to make sure that he's wearing that yellow kit under his pink kit if he's going to come over here, because he just doesn't play well. Wherever he goes, he's riding the bench. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know if it's with his work ethic. It has to be something, because when it comes to club football, unless he's playing under Carlo Ancelotti, he's not playing well. With Ancelotti, he played well with Madrid. Then he went to Bayern with him. He played well that season. He was with him in Bayern. Once he left, again, completely crashed out. So unless Ancelotti's on his way over here, James does not work.
I want to mention this because
that's me being a James fan, just to be clear.
I want to mention this because this is the most important thing. And I've mentioned this probably years ago. Ricardo Alarcón says James would sell jerseys and seats. The Colombians would fill the stadium more than the Argentinians. And this I wholeheartedly believe in. That the Colombians would fill those seats for sure. And he would sell a shit ton of jerseys.
There's two things to that. One, I don't think James wants to come. I think James really wants to stay in Europe. And two, I don't think you're having much of a hard time filling up the stadium right now with Messi. So I don't think that that's necessary.
I don't know. I want James.
Look, if he comes, although I don't think it fits, I think it would be cool as hell, right? Like, as a Colombian, I think that would be really cool, and I'll enjoy watching him play for this team. But I don't necessarily want him. If it happens, I'm sure I'll come around to the idea, right?
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't think it fits. And
I
go
don't
ahead.
I don't think it fits either. I just to clarify here, I would love it, but I don't think it fits, especially with Messi. I don't think it's gonna fit this team. I think honestly, if I was a betting man and Messi was to
Which
be
you are.
gone, yes, and Messi when he leaves, I think would be a good time to get James.
No way. Look, James
Yes.
is already on the tail end of his career because he just, I don't know, man. He just can't seem to make it work anywhere that he goes. So I think that if it were to happen, I think we're already a couple years late on it, but it has to happen now. Like you can't wait anymore. So I don't think it's gonna happen, but if it is gonna happen, I definitely think that it has to happen right now.
I like this. I like this comment that Florida Man has. James would only fit in the role Gressel had. That's not off. I mean, I get it. I mean, he's coming off the bench where he's at right now. So, what's to stop him from coming off the bench for 20 minutes a game?
Yeah.
So,
all right. And then do you want to get into the most likely? All right. Here we go.
Last but not least.
So the most likely of these, which I think I haven't heard any like actual rumors from any reporters, but man, it almost feels like where there's smoke, there's fire. Look at Pogba here. He's been at how many Heat games over the last week?
Oh my goodness.
He's been hanging out with Messi's bodyguard, playing soccer with him. He's been hanging out with Jimmy Butler. Like Pogba is like all over Miami right now. He obviously loves being down here. I think that there's a real good chance that we might just randomly end up with Paul Pogba on Inter Miami.
I can see that.
And you know what? I think Pogba isn't the Pogba of when he was in Juve playing in Italy. I think he definitely took a step down when he went to Manchester United. And he's probably rusty because he hasn't played in a couple of years. But you know what, man? If you get a motivated Pogba, I think that's not the worst thing in the world, man.
I mean, Steve Munoz is saying that he's injury prone.
He
Francisco Garcia is asking when's the last time that he played his last game. Now,
I'll tell you right now.
He played Tati saying Pogba play same place than Busquets. I mean, look, there's a lot of people that are very worried about his injury proneness.
The last time Pogba played a match was on September 3rd, 2023.
Yeah. Oof.
So over a year ago. I thought it was longer than that.
That's tough.
I thought it was longer than that.
I mean, look, if we get him, you can kiss Campana goodbye, guys. Campapi is out of here with that beautiful hair of his. Off to San Diego is where he's going. Because for sure the team is not going to restrict him.
Well, Pogba plays in the midfield. But he plays in the midfield.
But doesn't he play striker as well?
No,
he
plays in the midfield. He plays like a Busquets role. Well, he used to play like a Busquets role. And I think he's a little more in the attack now. I don't think he would be as defensive minded if he were to come here. I think you could count on him playing like the 8 role, more of a attacking midfielder maybe. So
okay, so I see like a front midfielder. I hear, I guess, Francisco saying maybe a media punta. I can see that.
Yeah, so he would be in the midfield. I think that would kill Yannick Bright.
No, I don't think it would kill Yannick Bright. He's not up that much. He's behind Busquets, or if not on the same line with Busquets.
You would play with 3 midfielders.
It'll kill Redondo. It will kill Redondo for sure. Yes.
Redondo has played under Mascherano already.
So you think it's a lock that Redondo plays at this moment over
Redondo, you could literally stitch it, stamp it, whatever you got to do. Redondo's in the starting 11 next year, guaranteed. There's 4 players. The 4 Barca boys. Are you happy
with that?
I think Redondo's good. Yeah, I think we're gonna have the Diego Gomez thing where you're talking shit and then you never actually apologized. So you have the 4 Barca guys, right?
Yeah.
Messi, Suarez, Alba, and Busquets, and Redondo. I think those are the 5 locks to be starters next year. I think everything else could be in question, but those 5 locks.
I don't know, man. I don't feel comfortable with Redondo being a lock. I mean, Vice City Lucas is saying he's a
Redondo
lock.
played under Mascherano for the Argentina U20s. If for those of you in the chat that's saying that he's not good or that no way, I'm sorry to tell you. Look, December 3rd, 2024, episode 279. You heard it here. Redondo is a lock, unless he's injured, a lock to be a starter under Mascherano. 100%. So unfortunately, and he was playing great. When him, Diego Gomez, and Busquets were in the midfield when Redondo first got here, those 3 were looking great together.
Yeah.
So look, Redondo ain't good. All right, we'll get used to him. He's gonna get better, or hope that he gets better, because. And I thought Redondo was coming into his own in the playoffs. So.
I mean, the Thuck Fung is saying that's not a good thing, Danny.
No, I getting rid of Tata wasn't a good thing either, but that's what everybody wanted, right? The cards were dealt, so live with it. Redondo is 100% going to be a starter under Mascherano. Those are your 5 locks right now. We have to figure out what the other 6 players are, right? We don't know if Drake's still going to be here. We don't know if David Martinez is still going to be here. We don't know if Toto Aviles is still going to be here or start. He still might be here. We don't know if Chelo got we don't know if Chelo got renewed, because we still haven't found out what the decisions were from last week. You know, we don't know who's starting up at left wing. Is it going to be Farias? Is it going to bring somebody else on? We still have a lot of question marks, but those 5 spots, locked.
You don't think that Aviles is a lock? He's been our best center back all year.
I think he should be. I think he should be, but I wouldn't say 100%. I wouldn't put money on it. I think, gun to my head, I would say yes.
Kerry is saying, didn't Toto play for this new coach?
I don't think so. Did Toto play for?
He mentioned it in the press conference.
Did he play for the U20? I don't know. Maybe he did.
He mentioned it in the press conference. So I would say that Toto, even if he didn't play for him, he's the best center back we got. He's a lock. Look, Mitch is saying Toto and Farias did.
Toto played 2 games under him. That's it. So he only got called up for 2 games. So I wouldn't even count that. He obviously saw him and said, I'm not calling you back.
Nah, man. He's been the best center back that we've had all year.
I'm talking about for Argentina. And if he didn't keep calling him up, he obviously wasn't loving him.
But look at what Marasovic is saying, that Mascherano, he cut Redondo from the Olympics, and you're locking him into the team.
What do you mean he cut him from the Olympics? He was there for the Olympics. So
he cut him. That's what, look, Marasovic said it. I believe it. You heard it here first.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you that he is a lock, and those 5 are locks.
We got people co-signing here, Danny.
Okay. Well, what does he cut him? He was there and he sent them home from the Olympics?
Told him, get out of here. Go home, buddy.
Okay.
And you're locking him in. Look at this.
100%.
Rock. You're locking him in. And you're not locking in Toto. Rock Emu says Redondo is underwhelming. That is a great word. Underwhelming.
Well, I think that you guys are off on Redondo. But again, I was having this conversation about Diego Gomez about this time last year. I think it's going to be Redondo next year. So
yeah, I can't wait until we get into the show before the super draft or whatever. What is it? The San Diego draft thing. Oh my God, I can't wait to get to that show to cover the 12 players that are going to be locked. That's going to say a lot, Danny. Because if we don't see players like Campana and all these other people, it's gonna be a crazy show. I'm looking forward to that show.
That's next week.
Yes. Oh, the freaking super draft or whatever that thing is next week. It's on Tuesday.
Yes, next
yeah,
Tuesday.
The expansion draft is Wednesday. Wednesday is the expansion draft.
For those of you that are,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, for those of you that are unaware, there's a new team coming into the MLS. It is the San Diego. What is it? San Diego FC. I don't know. I don't know what they're calling. And then for those of you that are watching on YouTube live right now, hit us the like button if you haven't already. That really helps us out. Angel, thank you for calling them out. 30 likes only. 120 people in here. Help us out.
Yes.
All right. So what was I saying? Expansion draft. So we have a new team in the league, San Diego. I'm not sure if it's San Diego FC or what exactly they're calling themselves. But
right now it's San Diego FC.
Okay. So whenever we get a new team into the league, you go ahead and you have an expansion draft. You have 5 draft picks, and you get to pick 5 players from any team, and every team gets to protect. Is it 11 or 12 players?
It's 12 players.
12. So they get
12.
to protect 12 players. So you would say, for example, I'm going to protect Messi. So you can't take Messi away from me. I'm going to protect Kremaki, even though he's an academy player, so we don't have to protect him because he's our academy player. Homegrowns, you don't have to protect. As long as they're 25 and under, I believe, right? That's what you said?
Yes, 25 and under.
So there's certain rules, but there's 12 players that you're allowed to protect, and the rest are free game. For example, St. Louis a couple years ago was an expansion team, and they went ahead and we didn't protect Indiana Vasiliev because he sucks, and then he got drafted, and now he's over there rotting in, say, St. Louis. So that could happen again. So whoever we don't protect, there's a possibility that they get taken, but again, they only have 5 picks, so there's no guarantee. I think it would be interesting if we don't protect Drake, though, because if we don't protect Drake, all of a sudden, Drake goes back to San Diego, his hometown. Makes sense.
Listen, Ricardo, you're on the money. A lot of content coming up for the podcast for sure. We're gonna it's gonna be a jam-packed next like 8-9 days. Because, like I mentioned, December 10th is the day that the list of players eligible for selection will be released by the MLS. So that means that, like, I guess no later than Monday morning, that the team has to turn in their list.
Mm-hmm. And Drake, yes, he is from San Diego, I believe, so he would be going back home. And then for who was it that said about the content? Ricardo. On Thursday, Chris and I have planned to do our 2nd annual Battered Award Show.
Yes.
Now, the way we did it last year is that the day before, we sent out a link on Twitter. So make sure that if you're watching this not live and you're watching it and it's Wednesday or maybe it's Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, get on our Twitter. If you don't follow us already, Battered Herons, right? At Battered Herons on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And we have a link. And that link is going to send you to the categories, right? Last year, we had categories from Team MVP all the way down to Worst Guest of the Year, which Tommy one time won in a landslide. I think he had 100%. Yeah. So we have a bunch of categories. We like to have fun with it. So you can go ahead. We're going to go ahead and we're going to click. We're going to make that. We're going to send it to on Twitter. You click on that link and you literally just put in your vote. And then on Thursday, we go ahead and we read the results and to see who won those Battered Awards. So, and by the way, the only landslide 100% was Tommy one time who won Worst Guest of the Year.
Easy. It was 100%. Easy.
Yep. So just make sure you look out for that tomorrow. At some point, I'm going to put that out there.
I mean, the real Keno saying that Atlanta saltiness still inside, Danny. Listen, I'm still salty about. We got it.
I was rooting for them to win it all.
Well, I wanted them to win it all, but then they lost it. So, like, yeah, they're awful.
Well, I'm just saying, there's no saltiness here. I wanted them to literally be the champs.
I wanted them to be champs if they would have made it all the way. But now that they didn't make it all the way, I'm kind of pissed. We're supposed to be there this weekend.
What is this? I don't remember this.
Oh yes, he ended up getting dressed as guys, chat. You guys got to remind me. I don't want to speak out of pocket. Was it? I don't know if it was a banana. No, it wasn't a banana. He did come in with like a costume of some sort. I forgot what it was, man.
That had to have been like those couple weeks that I was out.
Were you on the show? I'm not sure.
No, for sure I wasn't on the show because I never saw something like that.
And no, Thomas Solana didn't get fired. Okay, he's gonna be on the Spanish show in a little bit.
So yeah, Solana's gonna be on with us in 10 minutes en Espanol for those of you that speak Espanol or just don't have nothing to do and want to hang out and talk a little more footy or Inter Miami soccer at 10 o'clock or 10:05. We do Battered Herons en Español with Solana and Xavier Lavos. So make sure that you jump on with us then.
It was a bird. It was a pelican-like creature, Stancy. It was a bird. It was like a it was like a full bird.
I wasn't here for that.
Full-blown bird costume. No, I think you were.
100%
Well, maybe
I
not,
wasn't.
because when the teacher's away, the kids will play.
Yeah,
So-
those couple of weeks were kind of wild on the show.
No, it wasn't. It was fun, man. Get out of here. At least he wasn't dressed as that heron robot thing that we saw Inter Miami promote at some point as our mascot. I mean, Jesus,
That never came to fruition.
Oh my goodness! Imagine that. You would have lost 90% of your kid fan base.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to touch on? We talked about the 4 or 5 rumored names. We touched on Mascherano. We touched on the fact that I don't think that we are in dire need of a top name defender. Maybe some guys that aren't injury prone. I think what we need to change is the defensive philosophy, not so much the defensive players. If we stick with the current players we have, I still think we can do better defensively next year. I wouldn't mind improving them, but I don't think it's dire need. It's more to what Mr. Don Cafecito said, where he said we need players that are not injury prone. Yeah, we should get cheerleaders. Sebastian. What does that say? What's the name?
Sebas Inter.
Sebas Inter. Okay.
Sebas Inter. Yes.
No, we need cheerleaders.
You know what?
I've never really I've never been into the whole cheerleader thing for sports.
What? What do you mean you've never been in? I mean, they're pretty standard, I guess, when it comes to sports.
But I don't. Maybe because I'm so into the game, I don't really care for any of that extra stuff. I don't know. Well, if you guys have, by any way, just in case, here in the chat or after the show, if you're watching this later on, in the comment section, if you have something that you think we should add as an award that we should put on there, please let us know. Be like, whatever you think. Best giveaway at the stadium. Whatever you think should be part of the award show, the Battered Award show for Thursday. Make sure you leave it in the comments. And I think that's about it, Chris. Do you have anything else?
No, man. I actually was gonna ask you. I don't know if you were listening to music. Now that you bring it up, Mr. Krabs, I don't know if you were listening to music today. I was listening to music today because I tend to listen to music on the drive home. And I was listening to
a random thing. What do you mean? Was I listening to music today?
Well, because I know you told me that you listen to podcasts and not music.
I never listen to music. Yeah.
And you always clown on me because you say I listen to music.
I don't clown on you because you listen to music. I clown on you because you say, "Oh, I didn't have any time to do any research or anything like that." I mean, bitch, well then just listen to sports talk.
Well, yeah, but like I was listening to music, so I want to tell everyone an interesting song that I was listening to. Well, first I was going to ask you, did you listen to any interesting song today?
I listen to podcasts.
You listen to podcasts?
I don't listen to music. I listen to music only at the gym.
I listened to a song which sort of brought me back. I don't know if you know this song. It's by a group named Bananarama. And the song is called Cruel Summer. For those, maybe some of you in the chat knows what this song is from. Maybe if you guys know where it's from the movie, that's super kudos to you guys.
You know what I was listening to at the gym this morning? I went to the gym at like 5 a.m. this morning, and it randomly jumped on because I put my playlist on shuffle, and it's a song I hadn't heard in a while. You heard a Special Ed? I Got It Made.
Yes, yeah, that's a good song. That's a good song. Yeah. That's a super old beat. And Pablo Golazo got it. Karate Kid. Quick to first guess that. And listen, Florida man, there's nothing wrong with listening to Ariana Grande. I actually do have Pandora loaded with an Ariana Grande playlist. So
I've never listened to one of her songs, or maybe I haven't. I don't realize it, but like I don't recognize any of her songs. I might know some just cause, and I don't know that it's her. But I've never. And look, I'm with Angel right there. I'm old. I listen to podcast. Yeah, I literally when I'm in the car only podcast unless I'm with the kids and my wife. Then I have to listen to music. But if I'm by myself, strictly podcast.
And Mr. Krabs, I do listen to Fat Joe pre Big Pun Death. post Big Pun death, I don't listen to Fat Joe.
You
Because
never got
Big
into
Pun-
Lean Back?
Listen, he doesn't write his lyrics. Well, now he does. But before, when he was actually good, he didn't write his lyrics.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna come out and say that. Yes, and Pun is the greatest rapper of all time. And Stancy saying it's time to listen to Christmas music. My daughter was judging me because I put on the Alexa Michael Bublé, and I'm afraid now that my Alexa is probably going to play Michael Bublé. But is it wrong to listen to Michael Bublé? Is Michael Bublé whack? Because she says that Michael.
I think he has the best Christmas album. Like he sings all the classic songs, and I think his voice is great.
But she's judgy because she's like, Michael Bublé sucks. He doesn't write his own lyrics. He just karaoke's everybody's lyrics. So
hey, Diego, I got recommend some podcasts, Danny. All right, so I got Battered Herons in Espanol. I got Battered Heat fans. I got Battered Dolphins fans, Battered Marlins fans, Battered Jets fans, Battered Nets fans. I got you. We got them all. Battered MLS fans. Make sure you tune into that one. That one's going high and heavy. So those are some podcasts right there, Diego. I did have one last question before I let you go, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know we got the Spanish show in a couple minutes. My daughter was doing her homework, and we were all in the living room as she's doing her homework, and her homework is on the computer, and it like verbalizes the questions, right? Like it'll like you press a button, it tells you the question, and it was something about zombies.
Oh yes,
and I was like, why the hell are they asking her questions about zombies? So the question, I don't remember the exact question, but basically it was zombies can't swim.
Yeah.
I have two questions for you because me and my wife then got into a conversation about it. One, do you really think zombies can't swim?
I think that typically zombies are probably not going to swim.
Okay. So my wife said, if you live in a house with a pool, then you get in the middle of the pool and you're good.
Yeah, but then how the hell are you going to get out of the pool? You're cooked.
You're
cooked.
Well, I thought that she'd be cooked anyway because I would assume a zombie can't drown. So if a zombie falls in the water, doesn't it just walk on the base of the pool and get at you anyway?
But I mean, you can't be sitting in a pool that's like 4 or 5 feet. Then you're double.
Well, how many pools at the back of the house are more than 6 feet?
But hold on. So I have to bring this up here. Ricardo saying zombies cannot swim. Scientific fact. Kudos to you for the scientific fact, Ricardo. Now, here's the deal.
But
and
they're going to walk under the water and start chewing at your legs.
Wait. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you were there for the conversation, but we have a couple mutual friends that we play basketball with. And a couple of them had mentioned, oh my goodness, you don't want Golazo. I will have a bi-daily, I will have an every other day podcast for Batter Zombies.
I've already done real quick, Pablo, just so you know, Chris is the only person that never gave up on The Walking Dead. Like he watched that shit religiously to the very bitter end. Is it still going? Or did it finally end?
No, it's done. It's done.
Okay.
They have other like.
He watched it to the bitter end. Only person I know that was able to just stick with it for like 25 years.
Listen, Angel, I'm already prepared. You're asking the question, and Danny is done. I mean, he doesn't even know what to do, to be honest. And on top of that, he's talking about swimming in 4-foot pools.
No. My wife said.
I mean, but you got to join. You're done. Like it doesn't matter.
I'm not jumping in a pool. They're gonna walk in the water and eat you.
I guarantee you're going to be one of the clowns that are going to first go to a Walmart. Right?
You're going to go to Walmart.
Yeah, you're going to go to a Walmart. You're going to go to a Walmart.
I don't know.
That's what you look like.
We don't have enough time to do this, Chris. Because Chris has a whole strategy. Like literally, I remember having this conversation in our big group, and he has a full strategy. Do you have? Can you lay it out for everybody in the next 2 minutes?
I can, but I want to talk about the water thing. We have mutual friends that have said that they're going to go to the port of Miami and jump on a cruise ship, right? Now, that idea of getting on a cruise ship, kind of like there's a movie where there was a group of people that went on a cruise ship, if I'm not mistaken, to leave to another island. Now, in that case, it's not a bad idea, but if everybody's going to the port, you're cooked. Because all the zombies are going to get onto the cruise ship. Now, once you're on there, once you're out onto the ocean, then you're straight. But I'm not going to the cruise port ship. I'm not going to Walmart. I got a little plaza in the middle of A Street that I'm not telling anybody about, that I'm just going to take over.
How is that better than going on a cruise ship?
Well, because everybody's going to go on the cruise ship, Danny. And then if
you don't think anybody that lives around the shopping center is going to think about going there?
Nobody's going to go to that little shopping center because they're just going to pass it to be idiots like you going to Walmart and cruise ships. And then on top of that, if I'm like the army, I'm going to blow up bridges. So how are you going to get to Miami Beach? I'm going to blow the bridge up. You're done. All the people in Miami Beach.
Where are you getting dynamite to blow it up?
Well, I'm not blowing it up, but I'm the government. If the government is going to try to...
you just randomly became the government.
Well, I mean, the government's going to blow up the bridge. Like, everybody in Miami Beach is fucked.
You went from podcasting battered herons to the government. That's quite the leap.
I'm just telling you that the government's going to blow up the MacArthur Causeway. Everybody on the bridge is cooked. Everybody in Miami Beach is cooked. And Angel, I do have a zombie bag. So, I mean, Florida man, you're cooked. You're going to go to Biscayne Bay, you're completely done. You're completely done. Yeah, put that. Good comment right there, 1-1 goal.
I know. This is the hard-hitting football facts we give you on this show.
Rubita says Domino's Park. You're going to go to the Domino's. I'm not going to go to the Domino's Park.
That's basically where you want to go. Exactly.
No,
that's basically where you want to go.
No. I know where I'm going, and I'm not going to say it because I want to live. If I tell everybody where I'm going to go, everybody's going to meet me there, and I don't got that much space there. There.
So back to the original question, and then we'll get out of here. Do you think that if you were to go in a pool on a floaty or whatever the hell, that the zombie would fall into the water? Does it drown or does it walk underground and then just start eating at your legs?
I would imagine that it's gonna. All right, let's just work this two ways. One, if it gets the ability to stand up, you're cooked.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, here's the problem, though. If it falls in and it doesn't have the ability to lift itself, it's gonna drown. But then what if like 500
Can it drown? It's dead already.
But what if 500 zombies come in and they start piling up and now they literally have like water to walk on? They're going to walk on their boys and they're going to get you. Like at some point you're going to be in a pool of zombies.
So you think that all the zombies just randomly focused in on you and they all showed up?
Yeah, that's what's, I mean, you're telling me if they're around, can they go get you in the pool? Yes.
But that's how you imagine. Because I just imagine that they're just going to walk underground.
But then what would you think, that they're just going to ignore you because you're in a pool? Like that's it? You have your force field of a pool? You're done.
I don't know. But we'll pick this conversation up another day with one of our guests probably. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts, Chris?
I mean, you're cooked in a zombie apocalypse. Absolutely. You're so done. You're so done.
All right, so probably no zombie talk on Battered Herons en Español, but we will be talking, again, rumors, Mascherano with Solana and Xavier Lavos, and probably Solana is going to go on a rant about his hate for the playoffs and the finals. So if you want to talk a little more into Miami, make sure Battered Herons en Español is the YouTube channel. Make sure you go ahead and get on there, and we'll probably be on there in like 2 or 3 minutes. So make sure you join us there, and we appreciate you guys. So if you're listening on audio, thank you for listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, for those of you in the chat, you guys are the best part of the show. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for the last hour, and make sure that you look out for the awards vote, I guess is what we'll call it, the award vote that I'm going to put out there tomorrow. So make sure you look out for that on X, at Battered Herons on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call that. So we'll be back in about an hour. So I'm sorry, in about a couple minutes in Espanol. So until the next one, have a good one.